Welcome to this introductory video that will attempt to answer the questions, what is blended learning, and how can I as a student be successful in a blended learning course? An important initiative at the University of Alberta is the implementation of different digital strategies in the teaching and learning that happens on campus. One of these digital initiatives and the focus for this video is around blended learning. You're probably asking, what is blended learning? Blended learning is a teaching approach that combines a traditional face-to-face instructional time and online or computer-mediated learning. Classes that use a blended learning approach may look very different from one another, as there are many different ways to combine face-to-face and online activities. In some cases, a blended learning class might use a flipped classroom approach where students watch lectures online before class and then engage in more student-centered activities during class time. Or, in other classes, students might complete more activities online and spend less time physically attending class. In general, blended learning allows for more student control over the time, place, content, and pace of the learning. Universities are increasingly moving towards a blended learning model for course instruction for many reasons. Some of these include greater flexibility for students in scheduling, more efficient use of classroom space by allowing for opportunity to bring down lecture time and allow for more interaction with your instructor. Changing student demographics. An example of this would be more students who work or live farther away and are more technologically competent. Finally, the opportunities that blended learning offers with respect to student engagement in the classroom. Research indicates that in general, students tend to prefer blended learning over completely online or completely face-to-face classes. Blended learning also provides students with increased access to course resources. One of the things to remember is that blended learning is not something you should fear. In fact, blended learning allows for an extension and enhancement of the classroom experience through the use of technology. If you have never been in a blended learning course, you might not know some best practices for how to participate and engage. There are a number of general strategies you should consider as you work through your course. However, keep in mind these strategies tend to be useful strategies for all of your university courses, and not just the ones using a blended learning approach. Strategy 1. Know the schedule. Make sure that you are aware of where you need to be and when, and that you know the due dates for assignments, quizzes, discussions, etc. While there tends to be more flexibility in blended learning courses, you do need to be more cognizant of when you are required and not required to attend class, for example. Strategy 2. Set aside time in your schedule to do your online work. Make sure that you give yourself plenty of time and do not leave things till the last minute. No one is going to be there telling you when to work, so you must develop this habit yourself. Strategy 3. Do not write down every single word during note-taking. It is tempting when watching a video, for example, to start and stop it and copy down everything that is being said. However, this is very time-consuming and not particularly useful. Make notes of the key topics, words, and ideas while watching the video or sitting in a lecture, and then try to fill in the notes later. This will help you assess whether or not you need to understand the content or if you need to look over things more. Strategy 4. Participate and contribute. One of the benefits of a blended learning strategy is the potential for greater student engagement. Greater student engagement can lead to greater success in your course, but this can only happen if you participate in what is happening both in class and online. Now that you have a basic understanding of your blended learning course, I think it's time to get started. Remember to always be involved in your course and check your e-class often. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask your instructor.